Guess what's so boy?
150 gunning, I'ma run it in the fast lane. Pass lanes, watch me like a matinee. Running through the toe, easy pass him in the cash lane. The past staying and I'm never looking back, man. Pop shit, I ain't really trying to talk it out. Drop hits, I can show you what it's all about.
Hello and welcome to Sharp Bets Fantasy Sets. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Nick will be joining shortly during the show. He is a little stuck and hung up right now, but he will be on. I promise you that. Much to the chagrin of some people or to the happiness of some. We got big time Tim Sikora here, who's 8-1 in his last 3 weeks with his picks. Sir Shaw, who's still flying in third place, and me, who is coming back down to reality with an 0-3 weekend, of course, because I take dumb teams who 3 teams total a total of 23 points, which is just devastating and stupid. As I said, I'm trying to get off the show, but I guess it's not happening.
You ain't going nowhere, man. Come on, stop it.
As the host of Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets,
Cowboys play next Thursday. I will not be on next week. So we got a couple things to go over. First off, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. Christmas music is probably starting for a lot of you this week. It should have started November 1st when it's socially acceptable in this world. That's when I started, November 1st. But I'm sure most of you will start it Friday mornings after you're hungover on whatever the hell you're drinking. For me personally, it's probably white Zinfandel. So we're just going to go.
You totally look like a person that would drink some white tea. I'm not going to lie.
White Zinfandel is amazing. I go for taste. I don't care what people think about me. That's what it is. You know,
we've known that for a long time, Scott.
Exactly. So
that one dog
dogs barking in the background. And let's get to some games here. My game, I'll start because it was a little devastating. But at the opposite end, I'm kind of happy because the defense is still playing very well, and the offense will come around. There's no doubt in my mind that the Dallas offense won't have a problem down the line. They had Cooper out, Lamb out. I could go on forever. I'm not going to make excuses. They went in Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes the Chiefs just beat them. It is what it is. I'm not going to dwell on it. It's very annoying when you got these pundits and analysts now talking about the division's back in play. Just stop. They just stopped one fucking loss. And, if the Giants win tonight, I'm sure you're going to hear them talking about making a run because, once again, they're the worst fans in the sport if you live in this area. And I stand by that. So
you can be wrong. It's okay.
I'm not. I'm serious. They're the worst fans.
Cowboy fans.
The worst fans in this area. Yeah, but we don't want everybody gone. Sir,
they get hyped up. Y'all beat a couple winless teams, and oh my God, we the boys.
There's a difference. Here's why. They've had 2 Super Bowls in 14 years, and they act like they haven't won anything in 20 years. It's very stupid. They wanted Eli Manning out of there. They wanted Tom Coughlin out of there after 2 Super Bowls. They win one game. They think they're going to the Super Bowl. They lose one game. They want to fire everybody. That's why they're unbearable around here. Would you agree, Tim?
I don't like any of you boys. Goddamn it. They're all both annoying.
Talk to them.
I got to sit in the middle of all the goddamn back and forth shit. They're both terrible.
Yeah, we are. So what? It's fun.
And for what it's worth, can we give a shout out to the special guest last week? His Chiefs took you guys down.
Well, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Mr. Barry Holmes, thanks for coming on last week. Appreciate it. He gave one hell of a prop pick of anytime touchdown for the defense. And if you guys were here on Twitch last week, you heard that. If you put it in, you would have made some pretty decent money.
Yeah, I doubt he even put it in, though. I mean, that's a risky one to put in. But whatever. Good for him. Chiefs won. I think they're going to win the division. They might even make the fucking Super Bowl at this point.
Speaking of risky, I hear starting Tua over Mahomes. What's wrong with you?
Oh, yeah. That was extremely paid off. And you guys can say you want. This is what bothers me. But you fantasy nuts. And I'm speaking to you, too, and Nick. You guys
go ahead. I'm listening. What's up?
You guys are very enveloped in the fantasy game. I'm in one league. And when you make a move with the gut, you guys are like these new age baseball managers where you do analytics and stuff. So no matter what that move outcome was, it was a dumb move. Well, clearly it wasn't a dumb fucking move because he scored 16 more points than Patrick Mahomes. So like it wasn't a bad move. Sometimes,
sir, but your move was not analytical. Your move was, oh, I don't want to put Mahomes in because I don't want to watch him beat my boys.
That's not true. That was after the fact when we were in the group text. If you go back to that show, I actually said I don't think he's gonna perform that well. So like I trusted Tua over Mahomes.
And you were spot on about, yeah, we think this game's going to go 60 points. It might be 17 to 14.
Of course, that always happens.
My DFS lineup will show you that was the case. I'm telling you, every time I go heavy on one game, it's like, oh yeah, big time over under.
Yeah.
I go all in. Nope, yeah. 7-3.
Speaking of teams that lost. Let's move on. Once again, it's like clockwork. We'll go to the Jets again. Another team that lost. They played pretty well, but it just seemed like the Dolphins were going to win that game no matter what. Like when they needed a field goal, they got a field goal. If they would have needed to score another touchdown, they would have. So Flacco played well, but at the end of the day, so what? Because you still lost. And the only silver lining is Elijah Moore looks good.
Yeah, he does look good. And the other silver lining is hopefully our actual quarterback will be back this week to play. I can't wait to see what the practices look like leading up to the game. But, it is what it is. The Jets season is over. It's been over for a couple weeks now, and we're going to just keep taking L's until it's over. That's it.
Unfortunately, you got your boy Mr. Carter. He out for, I think, a couple weeks, so...
Yeah, it looks like it, unfortunately. But you know what?
I think he's out like 2 to 4 weeks or something like that. So, not good.
Get your boy Tevin Coleman back in, sir. Little ex-Niner there.
Former Niner, let's get it.
And
problem is they love using Ty Johnson in third downs and to close out halves for receiving. And so who the hell knows who the running back to own now, if there even is one, for the Jets and for fantasy, for anyone who's not in just one league and needs to get on the waiver wire like I do.
Yeah. And then we'll go to the team that won here. Sirs Niners.
Wait, what? Say it louder, old boys. For people in the back.
5, calm down. Sirs Niners.
Hey, as a Giant fan, we're right there.
Oh, absolutely. If the Giants win tonight, you'll see how annoying those fans get. You will see how annoying they get. So, yeah, Sirs Niners are hanging in there, honestly. I mean, like, they're not the most talented team. They're in a tough division, aside from the overrated Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, who's been overrated his entire career. But that's an argument for another day.
No, say it louder, old boy. I agree with you on that. I've been saying it. When I say it, I'm a hater. You can say it.
I've been saying that 10 years. Once you got rid of that Legion of Boom, he's done absolutely nothing.
No, as soon as they had to pay him.
Yeah.
When he was on the cheap,
right.
They were good because obviously you didn't have to pay him. As soon as they paid him, see you later.
Yep. Lucky he won a Super Bowl early in his career because boy, he would have been getting crucified like Matt Stafford right now if it came down to it. So let's go to that division and your game. I mean, Niners, man, they're doing well. It's just you got to look back at a couple losses you could have had. That the Packer game in Week 3, but I don't know. What do you think with the NFC? 8 and 9 might get a wild card spot. 9 and 8 might get one. So you got a shot, man.
Yeah, I mean, we battle. I mean, like right now, I think we're tied for the last wild card spot. I mean, we did what we had to do. Like we're not the Titans. We shouldn't be losing to bad teams, So we played the Jags. We took care of business, and on to next week when we play Minnesota. And that's a fight for the playoff spot because we're tied with Minnesota right now record wise, and we're both sitting for that last wild card spot.
Yeah, and no one's been more critical on this show the past 10 weeks. Every week it seems like you have something bad to say about Kirk Cousins.
I do. Hey, listen, I know. Hey, listen, he Kirk Cousins, Mo. I'm not spending good money to bet Kirk on him. I mean, last night or on Sunday, Kirk Cousins didn't beat me. Aaron Rodgers beat me. All right, I don't want to hear that.
No, you're right. And Kirk Cousins has played well, though, man, but he's another one of those. If you want to take the Vikings serious, like you can't lose at home to Cooper Rush and the Cowboys on a Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real weird team. They're brutally average, and it's just, I mean, being a fan of them has to be very frustrating, But
they got a solid squad. I'm not disrespecting Minnesota with Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson. I'm not discrediting them, but.
George Jefferson, sir, you moving on up?
Yeah, George. No, George. That's George Jefferson, Mo. Goddamn.
I heard you. Yeah.
No, Justin Jefferson. I mean, I'm not disrespecting him, but Just you can't trust Kirk Cousins, man. In a big spot, can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always his fault. I mean,
Listen,
he did go to New Orleans and win that game a couple years ago in the playoffs, you know?
Dude, he tried to throw an interception at the end of this game to give them the ball with 2 minutes left to go down and win. It just was a pick that wasn't a pick, I guess.
What sucks in the NFL with a quarterback, they tend to come through more often than they don't. Any quarterback, and they usually just focus on the non-coming through games. Like Kirk Cousins could have 13 straight fourth quarter touchdowns, but that one he throws in week 16 to keep him out of playoffs is, oh, he's a choke artist. Well, he just had like 13 straight games where he...
Is this like a little biased because Tony Romo is your favorite player of all time? Like, is there just a little...
No bias. See, Romo threw like 3 bad picks in his entire career. So it is what it is.
One bad hold and a partridge in a pear tree. But
Sir, if he throws 13 touchdowns and then 1 pick, he is who he thought he was.
Yeah.
As a famous man once said.
Yeah, or the team just sucks around him. I mean, he did put up 34 on the Packers. How about you make a fucking stop and not leave Devontae Adams wide open over the middle after, or your MVS, whatever the hell his name is, the guy who you pick up in fantasy sucks, then you drop him and he scores like 3 touchdowns. That's that guy's MO. Vanda's Scalding or whatever his name is. You know?
Valdez Scandling. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, put some respect on MVS's name. All right?
He does that every week. You guys know that. Like he's one of the most unpredictable wide receivers in the NFL.
He's more unpredictable when Lazard is playing. If there's just 2 wide receivers there, he seems to have better games. When when there's another guy's there, for whatever reason, he just falls off the end of the cliff as far as production goes.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Outside of Devontae Adams, they all unpredictable on that team.
All right. Really quick, we'll get to DFS for Thanksgiving. Slate, start it off, Tim.
You want me to start my DFS? All you, all me. Let's do it. QB, Josh Allen, 7,800. I think he's the no-brainer pick here of all the other quarterbacks. None are that good. I mean, if Taysom Hill is named the starter in New Orleans, I'm probably going him and just stacking all the other top price guys because that'll be such a cheap option at quarterback. You can start just about every other number one on the other teams and run with that lineup. So that's something to look forward to if you're not putting it in right away. To pair with Josh Allen right now, I got Stephon Diggs at 7,900. He's Stephon Diggs. He just scores touchdowns even when he doesn't get that many yards. And if he doesn't get touchdowns, he gets the yards to make up the difference. With that, I'm also putting Mr. Dawson Knox at, I think, 4,400. And last, I guess it's yesterday now. Yesterday, he got all the receptions and all the yards, just not the TDs. So that could be a flip-flop between him and Diggs. But those are the 2 guys that Josh Allen's going to. My 2 running backs, I have DeAndre Swift, 7,300 against Chicago. Back-to-back 100-yard game, 3+ reception games. He's probably, if Zeke is hurt and Kamara's not playing, he's option 1 as a running back. Running back 2, David Montgomery at 6K against Detroit. He's getting all the touches against a defense that's bad against the run. Doesn't make sense to pick anyone else there. With that being said, I had to go a little cheaper on the wide receiver options. I'm going Marquise Goodwin, 3,800 against Detroit. He's a big play guy. It's boom or bust. He's either going to get a 50-yard reception and a touchdown, or he's going to get no catches and put up a donut on you. It's just one of those risks that you have to play if you want to win in a daily fantasy. With that being said, wide receiver 2, I'm going to go Cedric Wilson, 3,500. No Amari Cooper. Potentially no CeeDee Lamb. If that's the case, he's the number 2 receiver, and Dak's got to chuck the ball around against Las Vegas, and hope he does better than he has been. That's for sure. And so here's my flex play. This is a little dart throw. I'll call it dart throw because I don't think, even if Zeke is playing, I don't know that he's going to get the lion's share of the touches, especially on a short week. And with how good Tony Pollard looked on Sunday and the touches that he did get, I'm going him in the flex spot at 5,600. with saving money in the flex and a couple wide receiver spots, give me the Bills defense against New Orleans as my defense. Watching the Eagles play against New Orleans, the Bills can have similar success against whoever the quarterback is, and I think they're the best defensive option. If CeeDee Lamb is healthy and is playing, I might change my lineup and throw him in there because he seems to be, even with Amari playing, it seems to be Dak's go-to guy, and rightfully so. He's pretty good. But that's my lineup.
Should make it interesting because Cooper's kind of, I know he's not hurt necessarily, but he's kind of does this once or twice a year where he's out for a little bit, and Michael Gallup's a free agent. So you wonder what the Cowboys are going to do. Do you re-sign Gallup, or you could just draft a receiver at 15 to 20. So it should be interesting being a Cowboy fan. But all right, sir, go on. What's yours?
All right, so Sicky, me and you have a lot of similar points in the lineup, but at quarterback, I wanted to go Josh Allen, but then it would affect the rest of my lineup because he was the highest paid, highest quarterback on the list. So I went Dak at 6,900. He laid an egg last week. It is what it is. It happens, but still Dak. He's still. I mean, some of his weapons might be out, but he should have a bounce back game. So I went Dak at 6,900. At running back, I went DeAndre Swift as well, 7,300. He's pretty much Detroit's whole offense. He's been averaging a little under 20 DK points per game. He's just been putting in work. It's simple as that. My RB2, I went Tony Pollard at 5,600. Said Zeke's banged up and it's a short week, so even if Zeke plays, Tony Pollard, I see his workload increasing to this week. And let's say last week he had 7 carries, 50 yards. He looked good when he got the ball. They put the ball in his hands, and he was making things happen. So at 5,600, he should pay off that salary pretty well. At my wide receiver, I went Steph Diggs, as you mentioned, 7,900. Excuse me. He's got 5 touchdowns his last 5 games. He's been averaging 18 points per game, DK wise, and he's the number one option on that offense. Let's say Josh Allen's a top quarterback for a reason, so he's got some weapons. So Steph Diggs is his main option. So give me Steph Diggs. Wide receiver 2, Michael Gallup, 5,900. It's no Amari, no CD. That means he's the number one option. He looked pretty good. He looked pretty decent last week as well. So to pair him with Dak, that should be a solid combination. Wide receiver 3, this brother's been looking pretty well. Darnell Mooney, 5,700. Last week he had 16 targets, which is pretty crazy. And he's had back-to-back 20-point weeks, including last week when he went for 121 and a touch. I don't know. He's been putting up numbers, whoever's quarterback, in Fields or Andy Dalton. They've been looking Mooney's way. So
Right.
At tight end, give me Dawson Knox, 4,400. It's I want part of that Bills offense. They have the potential to put up some points, even though they got beat pretty good. They still put up some numbers last week. So Dawson Knox, 4,400. It's a good value. My flex, as you mentioned, a little dart throw, but Marquise Goodwin at 3,800, former Niner. Especially if no Allen Robinson plays, he's the number 2 option. Last week he went 4 for 104 and a touch. He had 8 targets at 3,800. That's great value for a $3,800 receiver. And defense, y'all know I like to pay down for my defenses. Last week the cheapest defense was Houston. They put up 16 points. This week the cheapest option on this slate, the Detroit Lions at 2,400. They've been averaging 9 DK points the last 2 weeks against the Browns and the Steelers. 2 solid teams. This week they got the Bears, which the game could be a low scoring affair. So at 2,400, why not? Give me the Detroit Lions, 2,400.
I agree with some of them as well, sir. I was gonna go heavy on the Cowboys too, but I feel like I'm gonna go heavier on the Bills because I think this is more of a bounce back game for Josh Allen, and like you said, or Tim said, the Eagles just ran all over the Saints and wrecked them, so it wouldn't shock me if the Bills did too. So I'll go Josh Allen at quarterback, 7,800. I'm gonna add Pollard as well, running backs, 5,600. I'm gonna do Ingram, 6,200 if he's playing. I don't know, he was questionable today, but I don't know. They're weird. Even if Kamara's playing, they might be on some sort of a pitch count. I'll go with Diggs, 7,900. Beasley, 4,500. Gallup, I'll add in as the wide receiver. I'll pair that with the flex. CeeDee Lamb, 6,900. So pretty much I could have just interchanged Dak or Josh Allen It could have been whatever. Tight end Jimmy Graham, 2,800 money wise. I don't expect him to do much. And for defense, I'll go with Sir with Detroit with 2,400 as well. Just because why, Sir? Cheap defenses win championships.
Scott, you're learning, old boy. I'm proud of you.
I know.
Come on, sir. You're finishing goddamn last place in DFS this
because
week, sir.
But it wasn't the defense's fault. The defense was probably my high score option. I went heavy on Dallas, Kansas City, and that game ended 2-1.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Andy High, all ears number 5 for getting that W in SBDFS week 12. We'll try to get it out early. I got to talk to Mr. E about that. So they're clowning you in chat, so don't worry about it.
It's okay. It's fine.
All right, well, we'll go over last week's picks a bit before we get to this week's picks and how they were sort of abysmal. We'll start with the guest. Barry actually went 2-1. He hit on Miami minus 3.5. The Eagles with the money line, but he lost on the under with the Green Bay Minnesota game. He went 47.5, where, as we know, there's about 70 points scored in it. And Nick actually added picks late. He went with Carolina minus 3, which lost. And he went with the Saints against his Eagles +3, which he lost. That's what you get for doing that. And I forget the other one he went with, but it was a loss as well.
Listen, I think his New Orleans pick was stupid-stitious because me and Nick were at the game on Sunday, and Nick's record at Eagles games has been like 1-9. So he just figured it was the same old. And well, I was his good luck charm, and the rest of the Eagles' good luck charm, and they won going away. That game was not as close as the final score made it out to be either. They could have won that game. They could have shut the Saints out. That's how bad the Saints look.
And the Saints are starting to show that they're back. They have a backup quarterback. It's catching up to them. I mean,
how Taysom Hill is not. I'm maybe he was hurt and that's why he's not being used right now. But how he's not on the field for that terrible looking team.
Speaking of Taysom Hill, did y'all hear he got paid today? Apparently, they gave him like a $90-something million extension, or like a weird extension that like could escalate to $90 million.
Oh, I guess you know who's going to be the starter in either next week or the week after, whenever he's healthy.
I'm just saying they paid that man. Like,
yeah, it's hard to question Sean Payton because even without Breeze when he got hurt, his record was pretty good. Like he never really like faltered. So he is 5-5 with a team that isn't that good. We could all agree on. I mean, so
yeah.
who the hell are
Kamara's been out for a couple games. No Michael Thomas. Like, and they still putting up numbers. So.
Right, so who the hell are we to question him here? Sir right now is 1-1, and it's the pending game tonight, so we'll have the records up on the actual episode, you'll see. So Sir needs the Giants to do a +11 tonight, cover 11. That's when the line was Thursday, in order for him to keep up a bit, or else he's 1-2. Or he could just push and have another tie. Tim had his 8-game winning streak broken when the Packers couldn't cover the 1.5. So he's 8-1 in his last 9. So he's on the lead with 19-13-1 here. I went 0-3 again, which bumped me from 16-13-1 to 16-16-1. I was 12-5 at one point. So I'm just on a real bad stretch. I second guess myself. That's the
so when Scott puts his picks in, everyone, just bet the opposite. It's the old sir routine. Just bet the. And when Nick puts his picks in, just bet the. As long as they're not the same as mine. If they're the same as mine, you go with it, right, sir? The Dolphins.
Hey, listen. So far. I think I'm 1-1 or 1-1 or 2-2 when betting against the Jets. So.
Yeah. So this week we're going to do something different. We're going to do 6 games. Just for the fun of it, we're going to do all the Thanksgiving games because you have to do that. What's the point of even watching the games if you don't lay a little shekels or skin on them? Then we're going to do our normal pick 3 for anything we want. So with the Thanksgiving games, I have the point spreads in front of me. But if you guys want to do the over-under as your pick, you can do that as well. So we'll do this first. We'll start off with the Lions hosting the Chicago Bears at a +3.5. Tim, what are you gonna do here?
Scott, I know your tendency to pick what the home underdogs. So, yeah, and I'm sure that's what you're gonna do. So let me get the Bears -3.5. Listen, I know it's Andy Dalton as a quarterback, but he looks substantially better than Justin Fields has. And, you know, for what it's worth, Mr. Montgomery has looked pretty good at the running back spot. They just, you know, he's another week healthier. And it's the Detroit Lions, man. I don't care if it's Jared Goff at quarterback. I don't care if I don't even know what the other guy's name is. That's how bad he is. Take the damn Bears minus 3.5. I know they haven't looked great, but it's all right. Sorry, babe.
Sir, you going with the point spread, or are you taking over under?
I mean, honestly, I was leaning toward the under on this game because both these teams is trash. But I'll give you the Bears minus 3.5. As I said, it didn't matter if it was. I mean, Fields was looking alright, but Andy Dalton, for some reason, he has a team looking okay. And as you said, Jared Goff or whoever the other dude is, give me. And the Bears defense is not bad now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they still got some pieces on that defense. So give me the Bears minus 3.5. Although with a slight lean toward the under as well.
One of my biggest pet peeves is, and we'll get to that with the Cowboys too, when people are like, you don't want to play the Lions on Thanksgiving. You don't want to play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. When if you look at like the last 10 years over our records, they stink. Like, so there's no nostalgia. Teams aren't scared to go into Dallas or Detroit. That being said, I love the home underdog. I am taking the Lions plus 3.5. If they're gonna win a game, why not on a holiday versus a team that's just not that good either? So, hey, even if they lose 20-17, you know, come on, just cover the half point here. You know?
No, sir. No, can't do it.
So I'm gonna take the Lions plus 3.5.
And you give them credit for scoring 17 points? Nah, man.
Hey, it could happen. I mean, why not? Right?
Hey, it could happen. All right.
Yeah. So we'll get Nick's pick in if he pops on here, or he'll text us the pick. Let's move on to the 4:00 game. I think this is the one more people tune into. Everyone kind of is cooking, cleaning the house during the 12:00 game, hearing the Lions lose in the background. No one really pays attention to it. If you're trying to watch the parade or something, now that's the time to turn it on. Little note before we get to the Cowboy pick. They're minus 7 at home versus the Raiders. They have played the Raiders on Thanksgiving. They did in 2013. They beat Matt McGloin and the Raiders, I believe, like 31-24. But the last 11 games, the Cowboys are 4-7 on Thanksgiving. So it's not like they're that good anymore. It's not like in the 90s with Aikman and Irvin. So -7. What do you got, Tim?
I mean, come on, man. I've been on the Cowboys this whole season. Just another day. Just another win for the Cowboys. Honestly, I probably see this game might be a push, right? They might win by 7 and that's it. But I just can't trust the Raiders right now. They look awful. They don't look good. Not any part of their team looks okay. I don't care if CeeDee Lamb doesn't play. I don't care if Zeke's banged up. You guys have the backups to beat a bad Raider team. So, I think Pollard's going to have over 100 total yards and carry that offense to a win.
It's fair. Sir?
No, I hear you, Sick. I hear you with the Cowboys. You've been making some paper off them, betting them to cover the spreads. But as you said, there's two bad teams playing. So give me the under 51. That 51 is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys aren't looking the best, especially without CD or Cooper. You said if they got Pollard, you run the ball, the clock keeps moving. That adds to a lower scoring affair. So give me under 51 in this total.
Yeah, this game is weird because it's like I think it could turn into the Falcon game with the Cowboys. Like that bad performance, they come back, and this is a game that's just kind of the Raiders are walking into a buzzsaw. It's hard to believe that the Raiders were actually 5-2 at one point and like the favorite to win the AFC West. So this sucks.
Do it, old boy. Come on, you know you want to.
Take Dallas -7, but it's just very scary here. I could see the push. I could definitely see a 27-20 game, 30-23 game. So we'll go with the -7. If you can't give me a push and you can't beat the Raiders by 7, you have no business. Just give up because you're not going to beat anybody in the playoffs.
Yeah, damn right, because they're not going to win the division. You know, them Giants are coming for you.
Yeah, that's what they're going to get smoked tonight. It's going to be great. So we're going to go to the final game of the night, which they added because the Lions were terrible 15 years ago. So they started adding in a third game. We got the Saints plus 4.5 at home. Buffalo's coming in off a horrible loss. So they might be mad, but the Saints did beat the Buffalo.
All these teams are coming off a horrible loss.
Yeah, you're right.
It's first of all that every team on this slate came off a loss last week. Like, that's crazy.
Bunch of losers on this slate. But the Saints have beaten the Bucks at home. That was when Winston got hurt. Sean Payton's a good coach. 4.5 could be a little high for people, but we'll see. What do you think, Tim?
Well, the eye test that I witnessed live on Sunday tells me that Buffalo's going to run away with this game just like the Eagles did, literally and figuratively. I know their run game hasn't been that good. They're going to find a way. Josh Allen's going to find a way to use his legs, and I don't know what his prop is for over rushing yards, but bet the over, because that's just the way it's going to be. I have them winning by over a touchdown, maybe 10 or more. They're very upset that they got ran all over and got beat down by Jonathan Taylor and those boys. So bounce back game, as you like to say, for the Bills.
Yeah, sadly, I think the best game of the day might be the noon game, because the late two might just be buzzsaws that other teams are going into. Sir, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, yes, you are right. Buffalo could kill these dudes, but give me the over 46.5. Like, any game with the Bills is under 50, you kind of got to go with it, because you know they're going to put up some points, and they're probably going to let up a few points as well, whether it be garbage time or, as the coach just put up points in buckets. So give me over 46.5 in this ball game.
Really not much to analyze for me. I think the Bills are, for someone who's picked the Saints at home before this year and won, I don't like them in this game. I don't know why. I just think the Bills went into Dallas 2 years ago on Thanksgiving and beat the crap out of the Cowboys. This game doesn't scare them. That was Josh Allen's second year. If you want to be taken seriously, you got the Patriots next week. You got 10 days to prepare. This isn't a look-ahead game, so beat the crap out of the Saints and then look ahead 10 days off for your big showdown in New England. So that should be interesting. I'll take the Bills minus 4.5. Once again, we'll get Nick's picks when he texts us. I'm not sure if he's coming on this one, but we're going to give him the same lines here so he doesn't fucking get different ones on Thursday. I'm making him text us these lines. So we'll get to our actual picks here. I'll start it off. I need a rebound game. I'm 0-3 last week. Not overthinking this one. I'm gonna start with a division game, a home underdog. The Giants plus 3.5 at home versus the Eagles. I know I don't really like picking the Giants, but I like that half-point hook. I don't care what they do tonight. They could get blown out. I still think they'll play Philly tough at home. That's going to have major implications if it comes to a wild card game. So give me the Giants plus 3.5 at home versus the Eagles next Sunday. And I'm going to go to your game, sir. The Niners minus 3 versus the Vikings. I'm going to take the home Niners here. I've been against them all year pretty much. I feel like I picked against them. But I'm going to go with them because, like you said, Kirk Cousins is a bum sometimes. But I'm going to go your Niners riding the hot streak. I'm going to go with another home favorite. I'm going with Baltimore on the Sunday night game, minus 4 versus Cleveland. Cleveland looks terrible. They're so inconsistent. Baltimore just won without Lamar Jackson. He's probably going to be back Sunday night. Show big time game. This is a chance to get a little separation from the division. I think the Ravens just beat the crap out of the Browns. So Baltimore minus 4, Giants plus 3.5, and San Fran minus 3. A little different picks for me. I mixed it up a bit. Sir, go next. We'll see.
Yeah, no, the only thing that worries me about that Niner pick is that Shanahan's track record as a home favorite, not the best. But hopefully they get the dub. With that being said, my picks, the first one, give me the Patriots minus 5.5 against the Titans. Don't look now, but the Patriots have been playing great football. Like, they got 5 straight wins each and covered the spread in each one of them. Like, and this game could have playoff seeding implications. Plus the Titans, y'all just lost to the Texans. Come on now, fam. Like, what y'all doing out there? Like, you lose Derrick Henry and all of a sudden now y'all playing like the Jets? Come on, stop it. Also, I know, Sick, I see you. Also, Belichick, he likes to take away the one weapon. Titans have A.J. Brown. I don't see A.J. Brown having that great a game because Belichick's main purpose is to shut him down. And who the hell is this?
Who the hell just... Will you look at that?
So, oh, what the? Get out of here.
Oh, my eyes.
Oh, I know. Oh, there we go. All right, that's better. So give me the Patriots minus 5.5 as well. Second game, I know I bet. Listen, tonight I'll bet against Tom Brady with the Giants plus 11. My second pick, give me the Colts plus 2.5 against Brady. Now, I don't know. We all see what Jonathan Taylor did. he ran all over them boys. He put up a 50 burger in fantasy. Like, the Colts have been playing good ball. Tampa didn't look good. They might remember how to play tonight. Who knows? But as of right now, give me the Colts plus 2.5. And my third pick game, man, you talk about overrated. Russell Wilson in Seattle, like, y'all look like certified trash. Give me the Washington football team -1 on Monday night against the Seahawks. Like, at the crib, you're at the crib and you're only getting 1 point for a favorite. Usually, home teams get 3 points off the bat, and you're only getting 1. Nah, man, give me the football team -1 against Seattle. Come on now.
I saw that line. That's very disrespectful to Washington, a team that
I'm saying put some respect on Washington's name, even though they don't have a name really.
They just beat Tampa Bay. They just beat Carolina in Carolina, and what have the Seahawks done to even be? I don't know. It's shocking, but I want to touch on the New England thing. 5 in a row. You could chalk back to that heartbreaking Cowboy loss where they really turned the corner. It was almost like it was Mac Jones's coming out party, and they had that devastating loss, and then really picked it up. So that was kind of the game that turned their season around. Tim, we'll wait for you. I don't know, Nick. You got your picks ready? You want to come back to us?
Thanksgiving or games I like?
Give us your Thanksgiving ones first, because we did them already. Go for it.
So first and foremost, apologize for being late. It's the holiday season, and there's lots and lots of traffic. For these games, did you guys mention that all 6 teams lost last week? So has anybody fact checked that to see how?
I think it's true. I don't think it ever happened.
But that's pretty insane. So I'm going to go Chicago -3.5. I don't know enough about the Fields injury to know if he's playing, but if Dalton's playing, I love Chicago at -3.5. If
Jared Goff
plays, I think I kind of lean towards Detroit at +3.5. So I guess I need more information on the quarterbacks. But for now, Chicago -3.5. I'm also going to take Vegas +7 against Dallas, and that's just based on the fact that they're just depleted with injuries at wide receiver. They haven't looked good. You can argue they haven't looked good for a couple weeks now. And now they're losing even more playmakers. So give me Vegas +7. And then I'll take Buffalo -4.5. My boys just put a 40 spot on the Saints. Newly signed Taysom Hill. I don't think will have as big an impact as people think. I mean, we all think that Taysom Hill, Sean Payton knows him money, right? Like, I don't understand why this man continues to get these monster contracts. I thought the Goddard contract was kind of head-scratching from an Eagles fan perspective. And I was like, man, that's a lot of money. He's the 3rd highest paid tight end behind Kittle and Kelsey. And one's a tight end, and really they're both tight ends, but one plays quarterback. And it's an interesting deal for Taysom Hill and the Saints. But I like Buffalo, nevertheless, laying 4.5 against the Saints. I just think their offense is more aligned. And I think their defense is stout. So,
yeah, you're pretty much in line. The Vegas pick, you're the only one on that train, but you never know in football. Who the hell knows anymore? All right, we'll give Nick some time. Tim, do you want to go with your regular picks, the 3?
Yep, let me go directly against you, Scott, on the first pick, which makes me very happy as a fan. I watched the Eagles live. I'll say it again. Beat the crap out of the Saints. So I got them -3.5 against the Giants. I don't care if the Giants beat Tom Brady today.
Yeah.
It's still going to be a short week for them. I don't care if they're home. Eagles' run game is really good, and they've been running the football on any team that they want to. I just think that, with playoff implications in line for the Eagles, it's a must-win game for them. I just think they're ready to show up and take that next step. I'm going to go with the Chargers, -3 against the Broncos. I just can't see Denver's offense being able to stay with the high-scoring offense of the Chargers. Denver's 0-4 when they allow 23 or more points. The Chargers' offense averages 26 points a game. So as long as they put up points, I don't think Denver can hang. So that's my basis for picking them. And my last pick, sir, I've been backing your boys for a couple weeks now. I'm a back them kind of because I'm taking the over 48.5. Niners been putting up 28 points per game their last 4. Vikings been put up 27 points their last 4. That's an average of 55 a game for their last 4 games each, and the over/under is only 48. I mean, that's a big enough sample size for me to go in that direction for this game.
Right.
So those are my 3. Eagles minus 3.5, Chargers minus 3, over 48.5 for the Niners Vikings.
That's coming from our champ at 19-13-1 for now, but this week with 6 picks, a lot could change. Plus, our overall combined records, if you listen to a lot of sports shows, they're worse than us. Honestly, like some of these like hosts of shows are like 12 games under 500, so I wouldn't be too shook up about it. We're actually pretty good from people I listen to.
Yeah, even when Nick giving out his picks, we're still pretty good.
Nick was on a roll. He was 6-0, and then he just took a big step back last week.
I was 8-1.
8-1. Yeah, pressure got to him. He had a chance to really put a mark on. Nick, you got your 3?
Yeah, I can go with them. So these are games I like right now. Games that I would probably bet at the lines. I like the Giants at plus 3.5. I like them really anything over a field goal. I do think the Eagles are going to win, and I think there's a lot of money. It seems like every Sunday a lot of money goes on Philadelphia. So you might want to wait. I'm not sure, but I think that the Giants at plus 3.5 is a decent bet. I could see him winning by a field goal. The problem is I don't know what Giants offense is going to be playing. Is Saquon Barkley going to be playing? Is Kenny Golladay going to be playing? Is Sterling Shepard going to be playing? Like, who's playing? We know what the Eagles are, and we know that they like to establish the run, and they've been doing it a lot, but Jordan Howard looks like he's not playing. So now you only have Miles Sanders and Boston Scott. If they blitz Jalen Hurts, I'm not sure. I think he's a good quarterback, and I'm happy he's been playing well, but I don't necessarily know if he's beating people with his arm. I think he needs to involve the legs. 3 touchdowns yesterday rushing, so I do like the Giants plus 3.5. I also like the Patriots laying 5.5 at home against the Tennessee Titans. Vrabel off the coaching tree of Bill Belichick. And we did see what happened when, Vrabel and Tannehill faced the old, or at least we thought was old, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots in the playoffs. But Mac Jones has just been playing phenomenal. I know we talked last week about, probably the MVP candidate, Rookie of the Year candidate. MVP might be Jonathan Taylor, but Rookie of the Year candidate. So give me the Pats laying 5.5, and then I'm also taking Baltimore laying 4.5 against Cleveland. Did you guys see the quote by Baker Mayfield today about being asked about the fans booing? So Baker was asked today, or at least yesterday in an interview, how he thought about the fans booing him after a second half performance. And in a lot of instances, unless you're Javi Baez and Francisco Lindor, I think the common answer is to just say that, the fans pay, they deserve to boo. If we're not playing well, I'm not playing well, and he holds himself accountable. But Baker doubled down in perfect Baker fashion and said, those fans that boo me are probably the same fans that cheer when they're supposed to be quiet while we're on offense. So basically, I don't care. I'm paraphrasing. That's basically what he said. So Baker Mayfield has been terrible. And he's been very bad this year. And they can't cover against Detroit, obviously a bigger line. But I'm not sure that. I'm thinking this minus 4.5 line is based on Lamar not playing. If Lamar plays, I think they smash.
No, they say he's playing. Like, he was basically just like, they said he was sick, not COVID related, just maybe a cold or something. But they say he should. They would be very surprised if he doesn't play.
And I guess it's possible that the line could be implemented also with Hollywood Brown not playing. He didn't play yesterday. But I'll take fucking Baltimore laying 4.5 against Cleveland. Cleveland's awful. So those are my picks. Giants plus 3.5, Pats laying 5.5, and Baltimore laying 4.5.
I actually have Baltimore at -4, but I'll ride with them at 4.5 with you.
So I'm using Barstool, so I guess shop the best.
Yeah. All right, I'll do the 4.5 with you. I don't think that half point's gonna matter too much, so give me the 4.5 as well.
Here we go.
I want to say, aside from Mario Williams and Reggie Bush back in 2006, do you think there was a more shocking number 1 pick than Baker Mayfield? Like, honestly, when they announced his name, I watched college football. I couldn't believe it. I was pretty stunned.
Hmm.
I mean, I can't think of one. That was
Yeah.
shocking.
I can't think of one off top, but yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's whatever. If Trubisky was 2, right? If he was 1, that probably would have been it.
Yeah, and the
that'd
Bears
be a more
traded up.
shocking.
Thank you, Chicago, but they traded up to get Money Mitch.
What's crazy is those first 2 picks in those drafts might have been the worst first 1-2. Barkley and Mayfield. Like, if you go back and look, those 1-2 picks could be the most mind-boggling picks in the history of an NFL draft that we've been alive for. I mean,
you can go 1, 2, 3, right?
You know, Sammy
Darnold
D.
was 3.
yeah. But Darnold, with the availability at that time, wasn't a bad pick. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone kind of like wanted Darnold to fall there, you know? So it wasn't a horrible pick. Mayfield won though over Darnold. Allen was kind of weird, but whatever. It is what it is. Nick, do you want to throw your DFS out really quick?
I don't have one. I would just be throwing numbers out. I'll post my lineup like we did last Thanksgiving. I'll post it on Thanksgiving Day.
So that's it for our Thanksgiving one. We're gonna sign off here and do the prop bets for tonight's game. It's so weird. I keep thinking it's Thursday, but I have a great holiday.
It is not Thursday, oh boy, but it should be.
Thanksgiving is one of the best holidays. Just the 4 days.
Talk to him.
The 4 days are amazing. Just relaxing and stuff like that. I'm sure Nick, your line
get your eat on. You know what I'm saying? Somebody fix me a plate.
Yeah.
Scott, how many pounds are you going to gain over this holiday week?
It'd be most alcohol. I don't eat a lot, honestly. Thanks.
Oh, damn.
I don't. I'm not
Thirsty Thursday? What? Okay.
Yeah. We host it, so we'll have a lot of work to do, the wife and I, with cleaning, cooking, stuff like that. So,
Fam, you don't get down with the turkey. You know what I'm saying?
I eat like 1 plate, and then if the Cowboys lose, I'm miserable for the rest of the day, and I don't want to speak to anybody. So, like I don't even want to eat. I lose my fucking appetite.
So a normal Sunday for you. That's okay.
Yeah, it's only 3 this year. Actually 2, because we lost on a Thursday night. So, all right, everyone, we're gonna sign off. Stop recording. Have a wonderful holiday.